now.
Everywhere GBS.
Hello viewer, welcome to today's episode of Woman's View. My name is Anne Moremi, I'm your host, and I'd like to remind you that you can watch us live on YouTube. Our channel on YouTube is GBS TV Kenya. We're also live on Facebook. The handle is GBS Kenya. And in case you want to send us a message, the SMS line to use is 21144. We're very pleased today to have very interesting guests in studio. And before I introduce the topic, I'd like them to introduce themselves. As usual, we start with the ladies, so welcome.
Hello viewer, my name is Judy Mungai. I am a life coach and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to the show, Judy.
Thank you, Anne.
It's a great pleasure to have you.
Thank
We
you.
also have gentlemen in studio, and I'll start with the one on my extreme right, Karibu Sana.
Thank you. Hello viewer, my name is Samuel Otieno. For a second time I'm here and I'm pleased to have you as my viewer. Stay tuned and enjoy the topic we're going to discuss today. Thank you.
Karibu Sana. Finally, last but not least.
Thank you. Hello, my viewer. I'm Bernard. I'm born again, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. So today we're going to be talking about standing up for the man. This is part 2 of that discussion. We had a previous topic last week, and that's why I'm urging you to subscribe so that you can be able to watch part 1 of the show, and then this is part 2. So thank you once again for coming. It's always a pleasure to have men in studio, especially when we're talking about male issues.
Sure, that's true.
So, and today we are 2-2, so I think we are equal. So there's an organization that you have started, and I'd like you to tell us a little bit about it, and I'd like Samuel to tell us about Man for Man Foundation.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, this is an organization. We call it Man for Man organization,
Yes.
so that we create a room or a platform to stand up with the man.
Yes.
We realize the man has a lot of issues that they face, and lots of these issues are under the table.
Yes.
They are not exposed.
That's
And this makes a man to have a lot of pressure in himself, probably anger that ends up developing to bitterness,
Yes.
which leads to lots of violence. We keep on hearing, men have done this, men have done that.
I
So
know.
we are here to help solve such kind of problems. We don't want men to keep on being silent
Yes.
on their problems. Simply because there's no one who can listen to them.
Yes.
Now we are here to listen to a man and talk to a man and help a man overcome his bitterness. Instead of erupting to violence,
Yes.
there's a better option he can choose when he's guided.
Yes.
So that he becomes peaceful and regains his position as a man in the society.
Yes.
That's what we are ultimately doing.
And I like what you said, regains his position.
Yes.
Bernard, tell us, when a man is healthy and understands his role, what is the effect of that in society?
As we know quite well from the Bible, is that when God created man, he created him to dominate.
Yes.
And we know the roles of a man as a leader, as a provider, as a protector. And when a man is stable, you can be very sure. You know, when God created a man, he gave him a role,
Yes.
even to name. So we can see quite well from the beginning what God intended from a man, that you can lead. So if you don't have stable men, then the leadership is at stake. So when a man is stable, when a man is upright, when a man knows his responsibility, we are very sure that even the society as a whole,
Yes.
the leadership, everything in every aspect of life, we are safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted that to come out very, sorry, yes,
And
interrupt.
maybe just to,
add.
sorry for interruption.
No problem.
Maybe just to add on what Bernard just said
Yes.
about stability. When we look at stability in this angle, we are not only measuring on financial stability.
Of course,
We are
please
think-
let's be clear. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we are
yes.
thinking of, because men for so long have been discriminated on the financial instability ground. We are
Exactly.
looking at a man, mental awareness, mental fitness,
Yes.
the general body health,
Yes.
you know, his his ability to being able to defend himself in a positive way and talk about himself. That's what we're defining as stability in this category.
Exactly.
You don't actually mean that if you're not financially stable, you're not a man.
I know.
You are a man.
You are still a man.
You are created to be a leader, to be the head of a family.
Yes.
Even if you're financially inconvenienced,
Yes,
you are
that's the
still
word.
a man.
And that's a temporary issue.
Just a temporary
Which
situation.
can change anytime.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
And I like what you talked about. You talked about man's role being provider,
Yes.
protector,
And leading.
and leader.
Yes.
Also loving, because
Yes.
one of the things that the Bible says about the man is the man shall love his wife.
Yes.
And you see, a lot of times men forget about they're supposed to lead also in
Yes.
loving the man,
Yes.
you know, not just providing, you know. So we're talking about a very holistic kind of man.
Yes.
Exactly.
I wanted to bring that up because I think people have forgotten the benefit of having such a stable man. You know, the effects on society, the effects on a country, the effects on, you know, even at an international level. And when we look at our society, we can see that there's a problem. That man is an endangered species,
Yes.
if I may say. Because I don't want to say that there are no such men. There are such men,
There are.
but they are fewer. And what we tend to hear about is the ones who are not so like that, yeah? So, Judy, give us a lady's point of view. When a man is stable in all ways,
Yes.
how does the home front look?
Well, thank you, Anne. You realize when a man feels he's standing, he's able to manage his affairs.
Yes.
He will wake up in the morning and feel, I am in charge of my kingdom. Because when you talk about a man work on a kingdom. So when you wake up in the morning, this is my family, this is my kingdom. I lead this kingdom in prayers. I lead this kingdom in provision. I lead this kingdom in advice. And he feels that irrespective of what he'll encounter when he meets other men, he's the head of his kingdom. I think it's a very stabling environment for a man to feel he's in charge. From a lady's point of view, you see, men somehow have disadvantaged themselves by feeling, if I don't have money, I'm not respected. You get? So when he come to his house, he only believes he's a whole man because he paid the bills. But as a lady, I would speak for women to say, you want a man who can remind you that you don't have to be afraid. I am protecting you. I am standing with you. There are some roles in this home that I will perform because I'm the head of this family. And we are calling on to our men to tell them, just be who God created you. The fact that you are born a male, God gave you power and dominion. Just wake up and stand up and let the women feel, I have a protector, the children have a father, and our society have warriors, and our boys have mentors.
That's true.
Yes.
And how does it feel when you're fulfilling your role as a man? Because sometimes it feels like a huge responsibility. Is it something you like to do, or is it something you want to run away from as a man? When you're a man and you're stable, how does it feel?
Actually, one thing I'll say, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're living your purpose, like as we said, it even gives you confidence. When you're speaking before people, it doesn't have to be financial, like we say. But if you know what you're doing, you know, Jesus is our example. If you, from the way he led and the way he said we should lead as men. So if you're sure that you're doing that, the confidence you have out there is every person will see. Is a person as a leader, is a person I can believe in. If you, as a man, you're playing the role as a person who is loving, who is a leader, who is bold, who is courageous, at least even where you stand, you'll have that confidence. When you know where you left in order. If you left everything here, even you yourself, you're afraid to go back home.
I know, your state of mind is haywire.
Where will you go back if you left everything in a mess?
In a mess, that's true.
Sure.
That's correct.
Yeah, just to maybe add on what he's saying, every man finds it a pride to be able to support a family, to be able to be responsible, because that's what God created us to be. Now, a problem comes when there's unsatisfaction in a way, you know, because it has been fixed in our mind that a stable man must be financially loaded. Let me use that term. And so if this guy is not financially loaded, the female in his life, maybe a wife, a sister, a mother, you know, starts humiliating him, making him feel afraid. And now the woman wants now to overcome Last week, I remember we talked of exchange of responsibility.
Yes.
You realize that the woman now wants to go out aggressively, which is not wrong. You know, the Bible talks about this clearly in the book of Proverbs 31. Yeah, a woman, you have a role you can play in the family, upbringing it,
Yes.
but come with it, endorse it to a man. That's what the Bible, that's how the Bible looks at it, which is not what happens today in the society. You see, and now when a man feels like what he should be doing is being done by another person, now he feels threatened,
Yeah.
and so he'll now become bitter in a way in protection of his territory.
Yes.
So we want the woman to support a man in a way. You know, you don't intimidate a man. You don't make a man feel less in any way. You know, today I have, tomorrow I don't have. If I don't have as a woman in my life, what are you going to do? Are you going to frustrate me or to support me? Yesterday we were talking with a friend and he made a very funny statement about this. He said, a man can feel good when we go to a restaurant, then the woman under the table gives you pay the bill. You know, gives you money. I know you don't have money, you are my husband, you're my brother. Have this, pay the bill. You know,
Yeah.
you
Instead of the
cover
woman
up.
being the one to pay.
Yeah, you cover up this man so
Yeah.
that you give him his courage, his confidence. You don't you don't interfere with it so that he'll end up feeling less in any way.
Yeah.
So we want a man to be supported. You know, as much as he is supporting and his sole responsibility, to some point he may be less in any way, he may be disadvantaged,
Yeah.
but don't frustrate him. Just support him, give him his moral support. That's what we need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies, in a way, I don't know, those are some things that we overlook, yeah? For example, if you're in a relationship and you're the one who is having the finances, you know what you have said is very interesting, like give the money to the man under the table so that he pays. We forget a lot about the image of, because you see, that is basically to protect the image of the man to others, not to you.
Yes.
And sometimes really, such things don't really come so easily to mind. Or do they?
They don't, and that's why I'm happy men are talking.
Yes.
Because from a lady's point of view, it's as simple as we went out,
We paid. That's
we
it.
returned,
The end.
let's repay. You see? I must say I'm educated today, but that's a big thing. That the man's ego is very fragile. We are requesting men to bring this thing on the table. The things that makes you feel like you're below par,
Yeah.
let us know. Because that is the way we'll support you. Because I want to let you know, there is no woman who is happy to be alone.
Yes.
We may place to say we are very independent.
Is that true?
Yes, we may pose like we are on top of the thing.
Yes.
But as God created it, a woman leaves her daddy's house. Daddy is my cover.
Yes.
After I leave daddy, a husband becomes my cover. It's these situations that makes you feel you are alone. But that's not your intention. So women are not under any way desiring to
Usurp the role.
to sabotage a man. It's educators, you know, we keep saying that you have to be proactive.
You have to be, and the way that women are brought up nowadays, you know, when you're being brought up, you're told, make money so that you pay.
Sure.
That's what your parents want you to do. So you see now, when you change your role and maybe you become a wife, the education you have is from your parents, and it was pay.
Yes.
But now you're seeing, it's like, okay, when this family situation is not so good, give the money to the man so that he pays.
Yes.
That is something that you need to be taught.
Yes.
Because it's not automatic. You
Yeah,
don't know
it is
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or even
Right.
comparing. Sometimes you'll see someone
comparing.
you, or even in a very innocent way, coming and telling you so and so, the way husband to so and so has been able to do this and that.
Yeah.
And you see, this in a way you can tell this person, your husband, or your person what to do.
Yes.
Indirectly. Don't like compare.
Yeah.
Someone else has been able to do it.
Exactly.
What kind of a man are you that you've not
That-
been able to do that?
Exactly.
Those are some of the other things that will lower the esteem of a person, because you know every person is you're learning each other,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, you are in your own lane. So making that person know that we can do this indirectly, complimenting, or even showing you appreciate where we are, we
Exactly.
can also do this,
Yes.
instead of comparing him with another person out there, because
Exactly.
we are not in competition.
And you know what? With both situations,
Yeah.
you still get to say what you want.
Yes.
But how you're saying
Yeah,
it
the way you
is
put it.
very different.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So in one way, you're sort of being passive-aggressive by talking about how this other person has done it, not knowing that when you do that,
Yes.
you're belittling
That's
the
true.
person you're with, you know? So it's not that we want to gag the woman, it's just that we want to give her, to empower her to know
The way
what
to-
works, what doesn't work.
Yes.
Exactly.
For the results will be the same, you know. But if you compare, it has a negative effect. Yeah.
And you see, it's good to point out that now the fathers, the uncles and the brothers are also important when you're raising a daughter. Because these are things that can be modeled very easily to a small girl.
Yes.
You get?
Yeah.
Because you would imagine if you tell your daughter that daddy is the head of this home, daddy provide for this home, and mommy supports
Yes,
daddy.
yes.
You know, in her mind, she'll grow knowing she's expected to support the man she will get in her life. But when men stay away, you spend so much time out
That's
there.
true.
The girls don't also have someone to role model
Yes.
the expectation of a man. Because I believe it's in our mistake that we learn.
Exactly.
So there's something that will happen in a home situation. A daughter will look and will be able to be a better person.
That's
True. So well, that was sort of like an introduction to Man for Man Foundation. I know that I'm very pleased with what you're doing, but I also know that when you see something good in society, there's always a backstory.
Sure.
Like, what is it that inspired you? Tell us a little bit about your history as a man that has actually brought you to the point where you have felt you want to give to society, and you want to give by providing this avenue where a man can support. Men
Wow.
can support men, yeah.
I'm really excited for that, to share my story.
Yes.
Because on our last discussion, I told you, were it not for a man,
Yes.
just one man, yeah, today I will be doomed.
Yeah.
I don't know where I will be today. I have got a couple of stories, but maybe what prompted me to start up the Man for Man Foundation was the urge of standing up with the man, because a man stood up with me at a certain point of life. And one of the stories, immediately when I left college,
Yes.
that was the teaching college, yeah, God linked me to a certain NGO director
Okay.
who was running children orphanage center somewhere in Kirinyaga area. So this lady took me to go and live with the children there over vacation while I was still in college.
Okay.
Now, she wasn't there on a day-to-day basis, but she empowered another manager who was also a female figure.
Okay.
Now, by then I was 21 years old. Very
Just fresh out of college.
Yeah, actually I not even finished college. I was
Yeah,
just
it
on
was
a
like
college holiday. Yeah?
internship. Yes, okay.
So this lady who I was now told to live with as we were taking care of the children, you know, it wasn't as big as is it today maybe, because we are still staying in a homestead, and I was given my own space to be resting, my restroom, the
Yes.
bedroom,
Okay.
and children were also having their room, and the manager was also having her room.
Okay.
So at a certain point, one of the days, this is not very pleasing to say, but it happened, you know, the lady encroached into my room in a towel,
Yes.
you know, and it took her quite a while to let me know what she wanted.
Yes.
You know, at that age, yeah,
Yes.
she wanted something
Yes.
in
she
a
did.
towel. Then all of a sudden,
She
the
had an
towel
agenda.
She had an agenda. The towel dropped down purposefully.
Yes.
and
As planned.
yeah, you can see the image. What
That's the
now?
script.
What is now the image? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I found myself in that cottage of Joseph and Potiphar's wife.
Yes.
At some point. So just as a form of wisdom, just came to me. Just excuse yourself first to go to the washroom and ease yourself first. Yeah.
Okay.
So in the process, I sneaked out, and it was around 3 a.m. So I had to spend the rest of my morning hours in the cold,
Yes.
just to avoid doing what she wanted, you know.
Yes.
So when she realized it's almost dawn, around 5, and children were almost getting awake, she came in on her knees and she told me, okay, let's hold everything under control,
Okay.
and then go back to your room, feel comfortable.
Okay.
But the truth is, she was never comfortable the rest of our days.
I can
you know.
imagine, yes.
She was seeing me and she was like, huh, this guy, you know. So at a certain point, I went back to college. That wound was now getting into my system.
Yes.
So the next time I went there for another stay, I asked to stay outside now, you know. And I realized she was angry away
Yeah.
because I rejected the offer she gave, you know.
Exactly.
And I understood her while she was doing that.
Yes.
This is a single lady, and I told you single ladies suffer from such kind of stuff. She's a human being.
Yes.
She was a church goer, so she had that image, protecting the image of the church and such kinds of stuff.
Yes.
So she will not just mess up in the village, yeah?
That's true.
Which I really understood. So this thing kept on encroaching, and it was bringing now tension between us.
Exactly.
So when I finished now college fully, now I was entrusted with the teaching facility with these children. So one of the days, just to eradicate me out of the scene because of the wound in her and the bitterness.
Yeah, because it's like she wanted her to revenge, basically.
Yeah,
for
exactly. That is it. Yeah.
Yes.
So she came up with an idea of defilement, and put a defilement case on me. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
And coached the child, a girl child, that when you're asked, say this happened and this happened.
Okay.
And then, you see, it's a girl child center, rescue center.
Yeah.
Now, the director comes in the morning. I'm not aware of anything, just to be blasted in the office, told, Samuel, do you know of A, B, C, D happened between you and this student? I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I will not mention any name here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, hey, what are you telling me? Can we call that child? And she explained this to me. They were like, we don't want any meeting. We don't want any negotiation with you. You've done it. You've done it. And you have 3 choices. Now, here is your director who has sponsored you in your college life, has paid your college fee, is there for you to help you see your future. Because not everyone comes from an advantageous family.
Yes.
Some of us, we have to be helped to have our life today. Yeah?
Yes.
So she just wanted to tamper with everything. Yeah? Now, the director gave me choices. Told me, Samuel, you have 3 choices.
Okay.
I take you back to your family, to your country, Kisumu, go and stay with your parents. And mind you, I've already brought our siblings also to get educated in the
same organization.
In the same organization.
Yes.
So you can see now the fear in the whole thing. Yeah?
Mhm.
So I'm like, if I take that as an option to go back, what will my parents say about me? How will they feel? I've eased them from the burden of educating these children.
Yes.
And here I am, given this tough decision. That's number 1. 2, I fire you immediately and take you to court because you can't defend this. The child has said you touched her in a wrong way, in an inappropriate way, and you can't defend this. So choose. If I take you to court, now minding about that, I'm a teacher.
Yes.
Yearning to get a TSC number, and if such a thing comes up, which is not true, it's a false allegation,
It will never
how will
be
it be
able to.
treated? All media groups will come just to see this teacher that's defiling a child. Of course, that's what will happen, yeah?
Yes.
Another option, I have a farm. Now she's telling me, I have a farm where I'm raising pigs and raising the garden, the garden work. So she told me, you have now the last option. You have to decide. I'm given, it was within 15 minutes to decide. To make a choice, yeah? I either take you to the farm, leave your siblings here to be educated, go and work there as your punishment, as you learn it the hard way. I was like, I think that is the option I will go
And
for.
honestly, when you considered all things,
Yes.
that was the only
pigs
option.
are better.
So
That was a big way.
I've never been there. Some
The prodigals have
yeah. Some place in Ukambani, very hot. I had never been there before. It is my first time. In my village, you don't have pigs.
I think of course, you have a lake.
Raise pigs.
You do fishing.
Yeah, we do fishing. So I don't know even how to take care of the pigs. You can imagine, yeah?
God.
So I was taken there. Then I was assigned, one of the duties I was given by now the farm manager. Now you are here. You'll be bathing these pigs morning and evening.
You are really paying for your sins which you didn't even commit.
Imagine bathing pigs. You know, you take
Who does that?
that hard bristle and water, you sprinkle water and you have to wash it literally.
Oh my
and
God.
a video has to be captured. A camera has to be taken
For it to be
for
sent to
evidence.
the boss.
He is working.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It wasn't easy.
That was traumatic.
Yeah.
And you know what? I need to just cut the story short a little bit and say that the male in our society is very exposed to abuse.
Yes.
Sure.
And society tends to turn a blind eye to it, which is a very unfortunate. Because you can imagine if this was happening to a lady, you could even call, you know, as a man, what were his options, really? Here you are, 15 minutes you've been told to do A, B, C.
Yeah.
He just took the C option because he's here, he's still thinking as a man, providing for his family, even if he's not the father. But I just want to, Judy, Is that happening a lot? Are a lot of our males being abused with, and is that not coming to media?
Yes, a lot of it. I'm glad Samuel case is coming up because there are very many young boys who could be in prison today for sins they didn't commit. But somebody was properly coached, the case went through, and they're there. I remember last week I was watching a documentary on KTN of how an old man said that he was accused of abusing a granddaughter of the person he was working for, because he also refused this kind of a favor. So our men don't have a lot of option, and that's why we are here to say, please, a boy child is a boy. Please let him also get proper hearing criteria for him to be served right.
Yes.
It also explains why you find so many of them in drugs, because what happened when you've gone through a very hard time and your brain can no longer cope.
Yes.
Psychology says that it's very easy for a brain to shut when you're under extreme pressure.
That's true.
So when you look at our sons, our men, and we find them in alcoholism, in drugs, some are even killing.
Yes.
Before you just say this is a criminal, please, it's good to know there is a backstory. Be the sound that will say, just before we give the judgment, could we look at the psychoanalysis? Can we look at what led to this situation?
Exactly.
Because maybe, and most of the time these people are highly afflicted, but they have no room for redress.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what we're saying basically. And I think that's one of the things, that's one of the avenues that Man for Man Foundation is trying to create.
Yes.
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, the society believes like that a man should fight for himself.
Exactly.
Most of the guys you see, like she has said, they are puffed up.
Yeah.
Someone is wounded, someone is hurting. But as we said last week, you don't have an avenue to express yourself to. Maybe the guy you can talk to, for him, he believes he has fought so many battles, yours is nothing. Exactly. And maybe this is a very new thing that has come to you. You've never dealt with such a thing. So, and some of them, they are not, as a man, like he is saying, you're not so confident to go sing them out.
Exactly.
You've gone through issues, and you try to encourage yourself, like David said. But we are living in a time where things are happening right, left, and center, and people are puffed up. So the things you see in the society, like people killing each other, the things, people committing suicide. This is someone who has gotten to the head.
Yes.
Someone who has he has tried to fight things silently. They are dying from the inside.
Yes.
Then any avenue they can get. And when you get to a point where when you feel, I cannot handle it anymore.
Yes.
And I don't want to be a burden to a person. So you think the best option you can do is eliminate yourself. And that is why we are there, because the little that we can do, listening to that person. For me, I've been an artist manager. I do mentorship. I run a company where we do mentorship. And I do this because someone mentored me. I was at a point, I was in my wilderness. I was almost giving up. Then God sent someone, a guy called Jugush. He's my mentor. So he came through for me, and he gave me options what I would want to do. Music, an album. I was doing music then. Or maybe. And in my mind, I was not sure. I was bitter about God because I felt like he has thrown me to the wilderness. And I did not want to do anything with ministry, music and such. So I thought of a hotel or something, because I'm also in the hotel. So in the process at night, God ministered and told me, this is an opportunity that has come, not for you, but for someone else. And after we had talked with him, I decided of doing something that would also mentor someone, because I thought of the many people who get to that point ministry-wise. And you feel bitter about God. I've seen guys who have been so strong in the ministry, backsliding. And when you follow up with them, they say, I do ministry the whole days on Sunday. And no one even is concerned about my whereabouts on Monday. So guys are puffed up. There's no one. Some of the things that people want is just someone to listen to you. Most of the time when you just talk to someone, you feel like
already that
Yes.
build-up of emotion.
They may not even
it
give
just
you
releases.
anything.
Exactly.
But
that,
just
yeah.
you puffed up, you just want to release.
That's
And
true.
for men, you know, men will try. We're told men don't cry.
Yes,
he
that's
said.
another
So
thing.
most of the time you cry from the inside because you're also human.
Yeah.
So
Life
if
is bad.
a man will want to talk, but there are so few people, everyone is running, especially in this Nairobi.
Yeah.
Kila mtu. So
people very
you
busy.
try to call someone for that, Nicole Badai, call Badai. So
No
in the
meeting,
process, yeah, naandikiwa tu message in a meeting. So we don't have people to listen to.
Exactly.
We don't have forums. And we made it look like if a man is expressing himself in a line of weakness, hauko sawa.
Yeah, that
So
he looks down upon.
kuna vile hauko
Yeah,
sawa.
yeah.
So we're trying to see how can we be those people that even if it's just listening to that issue,
Yeah.
even if it's maybe I'll listen to you and I may not be able to do something, but maybe I can refer you to someone.
Who can help?
And I can also tell you it's not a weakness kwenda kwa counselor. You know, most of the time you're told when you get a man sitting with a counselor, uko na issue baya sana.
Wewe pale umefika hapo.
Yeah, wewe.
Mtu hapo you're so
And
down.
it's
That needs
a
to
bit
change, those
unfortunate
mindsets.
because even if you're in a position of leadership, even in churches,
Yes.
most of these things unawekwa chini, unawekwa kando. And now this double trauma because already you're hurting
Yeah.
and then you're sidelined. So you go indoors, you go die alone.
And you see, that's what we're saying here. This issue affects people irrespective of their financial status.
That's true.
When you're very high, you're isolated also because people are looking up to you. So you
Yeah.
cannot expose your weakness. When you're very down, people already are like, oh, this one is too down, let us also isolate him.
That's
So
true.
this thing cuts across all economic statuses.
Sure.
And the time is really running, so we need to take a short break. Viewer, keep it here. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The more you spend time together, the more stronger you.
A woman is like a Bible. Could tell me that they were born and it wasn't from a female, I'd like to know. A woman, she's a good asset. And a woman, she's a very, very good investment. When you're up, your family knows who you are. But when you're down, you'll figure out who your family is.
Thank you so much.
Elijah.
I'm a young baller. Every
What's up, my people? This is Brand Senior, Mr. KCA, Mr. Glam International Kenya, People's Choice. And the message is, if you are out there and you have any talent, all art, if you have any artistic thing, this is the place to be. Wednesday and Thursday.
Ani ningekuwa dem ningeitwa Joy, fruit of the Holy Spirit. Lakini si ati mnikule kama nimeiva. Hii ni wine ya word. Junajua spirit zenu zimezoea 8 PM na masaa ya 2:2. So 7 PM ningependa mnitune in kama nipashe cause I'm your fellow citizen.
8:30 PM manze on your favorite channel. I'm talking about GBS TV.
Elijah.
I'm a young baller. Every
Genius DJ, genius DJ, genius DJ, genius hype man. Wow! It's bigger, it's better, it's live. I'll be your host, Typola the Experience.
Genius Republic DJ Karian.
Join us for Ekomziki each and every Sunday from 8 a.m.
For the best in gospel music as we host your favorite gospel ministers.
Every Sunday live on your favorite station, GBS TV. Karian! Hey! Hey!
So now it's time for speaking. Everyone, are you ready?
Huyu kwa mtu alikuwa anauma. Si niliwaambia.
Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me.
Kwaheri.
Everywhere, GBS.
Do you thirst for sport in action but you can't get it? Well, we got you covered. Your latest rugby scores? Join our prediction center for an in-depth review of the soccer match. Local and international boxing bouts, breathtaking feature stories from our sports person, tennis, and much more. Sports brings you the hottest debates from our
the youth, we need to change the way we approach issues. That the world out here is very harsh.
I was just waiting for things to happen in life, like finish school, then just go to career life.
Some people are depressed. You're not depressed because you have a problem. Some people are depressed because they're frustrated.
So we young people, in as much as we claim that we are denied opportunities of leadership, I think we also have to assert ourselves as leaders.
And one challenge that I keep telling the young people, it is the mindset.
Mind education is so important in many different ways.
When you go to the world, they don't ask you, are you Kikuyu or are you Luya? Hey, mimi Luya bwana, unajua huko Kakamega tunakulanga kuku. Now,
Welcome back, viewer. Thank you so much for keeping it here. Today we're talking about standing up for the man, and we have in studio gentlemen and a lady who are basically telling us about the organization known as Man for Man Foundation, which is really an opportunity for men to be able to talk, to be able to get a listening ear, to be able to be helped. And these are men who have also been mentored as well. That's why they're able to come up with such an organization. So before we even forget, we need to give the contacts of this. You're on social media.
Sure.
What is the name of your Facebook group?
We have a Facebook group called Man for Man Foundation.
Yes.
You are invited to join and to like the page.
Yes.
And to take part in the conversation.
Yes.
If you have any question, you can put on the page. We will respond and involve others in the same discussion.
Also, if your issue is very private, you can also just go to direct message.
SMS.
Yes.
Yes. Or you can also contact us via helpline number.
What's your helpline number?
0768 84 74 24.
Please repeat.
0768 84 74 24.
Yeah, excellent. And you know what? We're talking about something that has happened to you, because you say that at some point you got a mentor when you're in your difficult situation.
Sure.
Yeah? Tell us.
Yeah, so when I was going through that story, or later on, after maybe like 2 to 3 weeks in the farm, now the administrator for this director came in for the farm now, farm project.
Yes.
And he realized I was really frustrated and devastated.
Yes.
Back in my mind, I wasn't frustrated because of farm work, because I'm raised in the local.
Yeah, you
so
can do this.
In Ushago, mi naeza lima, naeza panda, naeza fanya mambo zote za shamba.
Yes.
So that wasn't a real problem. My biggest torture was the allegation that prompted me to be where I was.
Yes.
You know, as a man, being told that you've defiled a girl child is not a small thing, while you've not done it.
Yes.
As a man, a lady, age of your mother, offering you the sexual deal and you deny it, causing enmity,
Yes.
it's not an easy wound to walk out of.
Yes.
So this guy, he's called Eric Saleh. He's aware of my today's program.
Thank God.
Yeah. So he came and he realized I'm in tears. I'm really stressed up. So he asked me, Sam, what's up? I told him, Eric, I'm really sad, not because I'm working in the farm, because people are also working here in the farm, but I'm sad because of what has made me come to the farm. It is a real lie. It never happened the way it is put, and I know what caused this. So he told me, can you explain to me how the whole problem started?
Yeah. He gave you a listening ear.
Yes. I told him how everything started from the beginning when I started going to, when I became part of the entire project.
Yes.
So he told me he's going to talk to the director to do more inquiries about it.
Okay.
So this guy kept on calling me, coming to see me. We kept on talking. He would hold hands with me. He would pray with me under some tree, you know.
Yeah.
He was there for me.
Basically.
He became like more than a brother. He became more than a father. He was a spiritual guider, a mentor in this case. And so he did me a great deal because I had so many chances just to disappear in this place, you know, just at night and wake up and just disappear and run away from these problems. Of course, that's what a man will do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was able to withstand all this pain because I was raised in a hardship area.
Yes.
You know, as a young man, I grew in the village.
Yes.
Now, my issue today is the man today. A boy today, a young man today, a youth today, if exposed to the same kind of torture, will think of committing suicide, will think of getting into drug deals, will think of just being careless about his life and giving up, you know. So we are here, just as I was helped by Eric Saleh, I'm also out to help a man.
Yes.
You know, if you go through such problems, and even worse than that,
exactly,
and you have no one to listen to you, please contact us.
Yes.
We are here to listen to you and to find out the truth about your situation and help you walk out of it safely and sound, so that you don't destroy your life, you don't expose yourself to drugs, you don't expose yourself to bad habits of life because of a situation that can be controlled.
Overwhelming, yeah. And you know, the thing is, the solutions are with us.
Exactly.
So it's just a issue of opening up, getting connected. And for you, you're very blessed and lucky because you're able to get connected with somebody who was able to help you out. Just giving you a listening ear.
Exactly.
Encouraging you, you know.
It was that powerful.
And even an outlet for you because all this time, you didn't even have somebody to tell that, you know. So those are the things that men need. And honestly, those are things that we can provide. And you also went through mentoring, so you've also been a beneficiary. Already you're mentoring a lot of people, even artists who are struggling. So it's awesome. Judy, you were talking about companies where maybe that there's an opportunity for Man Foundation to work even with corporates.
Yes. I'm looking at men who do very tough work.
Yes.
Like people who work for the security firm.
Yes.
You can imagine you're checking people's cars, they come in, some of them are very rude to you. And you're a man, you're not supposed to say anything. There are these people who are working with the boda boda, the motorbikes. Again, their job is so hard because if anything small happens, it's not the lady, it's you who is in issues. And we are calling on them to say, we are also here to give a ventilative avenue for these people. You can come up with a forum. We'll come in and talk to these people and give them hope to remind them they're doing a good job in the society and there is someone they can turn to when they feel like they're crashing. They do not have to get into fighting. The motorbike people don't have to gang up together and beat one person because one of their own is afflicted. When it gets there, there is litigation. We can always come, even if justice will not come the very minute you expect it, we will go through the channel, the proper avenue, and you'll get justice. And we want to appreciate all the watchmen who take care of the gates, all the motorbike riders, all the Uber riders, every man who is doing that job in their own thing, or the society makes you feel like you're down. We cannot do much without you, and we appreciate the work that you do.
In fact, the work that they do is very important and it's needed. And if they're not doing it, there would be such a huge gap, to be honest. It's just that people don't take the time to appreciate them. And unfortunately, they tend to look down on them. But if you're in such a role, understand that what you're providing is something that is very valuable. All right. So basically, have you, since you started the foundation, have people been coming out to talk to you? Because is this a real need in society?
You see, everything starts from somewhere, and you see that one person that talks to you. This someone will just see you in this platform and then call or even talk to us. That one person, like we said, iron sharpens iron. And I always say, if each man stands for another man, each one for one, we've been talking to guys one by one, and someone comes to you and you're able to sit with them and listen to them. Besides now the forums and those other things, but the numbers of people that come to you are the guys who've been coming to me, coming to her, coming to him, and someone just wants to be listened to. So you have those people who are coming and telling you their issues, just listening to them, and because she's also a life coach, some of them